Hey guys, here we are. Big Blue, LongHaul Larry. Johnny the chicken's still heavily medicated. He's in the back. I checked. He still has a pulse, but he's out. We are here in Shawano, Wisconsin, and we are empty. Bill signed. Everything is good. It is time to head home. Yeah, I got the Packer shirt on today. It's Sunday. Got to wear the Packer shirts on Sunday. That is a Wisconsin religion. But it's bye week. No Packer game today. That's all right. Gonna head home and kind of do a few things I need to do, just personal things. Nothing to do with the truck. A couple little tinky things I might try to get to, but I'm not doing no big repairs or nothing today. So congratulations to Glenn. I found that pretty humorous, I guess. Glenn has been a long time subscriber, so very happy he was 101. He's been with me for a long time. But that was good. And I was looking through so many replies. He hasn't replied back to me yet or anything. And like, hooray, I won, or nothing. So, I don't know. Maybe he's not going to get back to me. I'll have to redo the drawing. I don't know, Glenn. You better hurry up. But I was looking through the comments, and there's a Daniel Meechan. I want to say his name is. And he said it's his, what is it, 59th birthday today. So happy birthday. So the 21st is his 59th birthday. Happy birthday. I'm going to talk about something. I don't know if I should talk about this or not. And I'm going to save you guys the thing right now. You can click off the video if this kind of stuff really annoys you. But I'm going to talk about getting free money as a YouTube creator. Having people send money. I'm going to talk a little bit about Patreon, YouTube, and even a GoFundMe page. So if any of that stuff is not interested in everything, click off the video. We're all good. I don't really know if I should talk about this stuff or not. I'm going to tell you why. Why I'm going to talk to it. It's going to be kind of a non-LongHaul Larry video, a little different. I was coming up last night, and I had to stop, and I had to make some phone calls to somebody, and then I had to find something in the truck, and I spent like 8 minutes looking for it, messing around, finally found it, and I was going to meet the person last night on the way up in Plymouth, and I had to give them something. So I was doing all that, and I looked on my clock, and I was off duty for 8 minutes. I was down by Chicago, and I thought, okay, well, I might as well just do my half an hour break. Get that out of the way. So I figured I'd sit there for another 22 minutes. So I sat there watching one of John's videos. It was his latest video. And I watched it, and he had me thinking all night long about what he was saying. He talked about a few different things, and I'm kind of surprised he didn't know what Jeep stood for. But one of the things that he was talking about is he was trying to figure out why people get so upset if somebody else sends him money and says, here's a gift, and sends him money. And he was trying to figure this out. I have not talked to John about this whatsoever. Just so you know. I decided, I've been thinking about this all night long. And to tell you the truth, I understand both aspects of it. I understand a little bit why people may get a little bit bothered by it. I don't see a reason to get upset with it. You know, it's all kinds of nasty stuff. I can understand how it might bother somebody, ruffle a few feathers. You know, but it's not affecting you, so, you know, whatever. But I understand that aspect of it, and I also understand John's aspect of it, too. In what he's saying. So, I'm going to talk about both of them. First of all, a little bit about me. I was raised, my father, I'll say it, he's a true blue Republican. My dad is 100% true blue Republican. Is it red? But, he raised us to work very hard. You know, work to get a good job, make as much money as he can. Excuse me. And raise your family, support your family, put away money for retirement, work for that retirement, retire, and have enough money to be able to take care of yourself. That's the way he's raised us, all of us in the family, all of us, you know, boys and the girl. We all have done that. There's none of us that have been on like welfare or anything of that sort. We've all worked very hard all of our lives. I actually have a brother who just retired. I have a sister who is retiring. So, you know, everybody's done this, and my dad has pointed this out in the past for a few little get-togethers or something where we have a big gathering. You know, he talks, and he kind of gets emotional, and he talks about how proud he is of everybody. You know, that there hasn't been one person in a family that sat there and tried to just glide through life and let other people take care of herself. Everybody's taking the reins and done it. So, and one of the things that I can tell you that he doesn't really like, it isn't that he doesn't like it, but it's broken, and that's the welfare system. And I can tell you that he's not a fan of it, and it is broken. You know, it isn't that he doesn't believe that some people need a helping hand once in a while. It's that so many people take advantage of it. You know, with the welfare and you know, what do you call that? Where you're looking for a job and between jobs or whatever you can get paid. You know, people just take advantage of that kind of stuff. And so, you know, it's kind of like free money. And you can make an argument, oh, you pay into it. Yeah, most people don't. So I think we can understand, I think we can all agree that it's a broken system. And a lot of people abuse it. And so that's kind of the way I was raised. And so when John says, you know, I don't understand why people are saying, you know, I'm having a problem with it, with somebody sending me, you know, $20 or $50 or $1 or whatever, and why it bothers people so bad. I think it's because, I think that's one aspect of it, is that people think, well, you know, you got a good job, you know, you got this YouTube channel where you're making money too, you know, why are you begging for money? And I get a lot of comments from people about John. And guess what? John is my friend. I'm never going to badmouth John. I may pick on him and give him a few jabs and stuff, but I'm never going to badmouth John. He's my friend. Does he do everything that I think he maybe should, or make the decisions I think he should? No, he doesn't. I guarantee he thinks the same thing of me. That he thinks, well, why would Larry do that? So, you know, I get all that stuff. And, you know, I look at it and I think that people think, why is he asking for free money? Why does he need free money or whatever? You know, work for a living, make your money. I think that's one of the aspects why people have problems. It's either that or otherwise people are just, I don't know, maybe a little jealous of it or something, that people are willing to do that. Maybe they're not for them. I don't know. I don't know what the bothering situation is. But in my case, like when you guys met me back in the early spring, summer, I went on work comp for 2 to 3 weeks. I'll tell you right now, that bothered me severely. It was very difficult. I just wanted to go back to work. All I wanted to do was just work, and they wouldn't let me do it. So I thought, okay, let's get it fixed. And they wouldn't fix it, you know. So I was running around. You guys know the story. Blah blah blah. And finally, I walked away from it. I could have kept doing that and bled that whole system out and stayed on that for months and months, and you know, and played their little game and kept collecting all this money and stuff. I was just over it. I just wanted out of it. I was not feeling good about it. So, me, I don't think I would ever say, and people have sent me messages, I would like to help you with your debt-free situation. I would like to donate some money. And I have told everybody, no, do not send me money. I'll earn my money. I earn my money. It's just the way it's just different, you know? Everybody's a little different. Is one bad or one good or no? You know, who knows? We'll find that out in the end, right? But the thing is that then John has an aspect. So that's one part of it. I think that's maybe some of the reasons why people are a little bit upset about it. I don't know. I can't read minds. People think I do with drivers out and stuff. That's just years of doing it. But then you got the other aspect of John. And John has made this comment many times. Oh, it's gonna be a busy day. Everybody's coming south from being up north this weekend, looking at the leaves and stuff. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but the leaves are like gone. We're gonna go. I think we're gonna just be able to sneak in here. Yeah, we're fine. Truck does that once in a while. It kind of shifts too fast and it doesn't have time to kick into the higher gear, and it kicks out of gear. But yeah, the leaves and the trees and stuff, a lot of them are down. That wind came through and knocked almost everything down. But John has made this comment many a times. He said it's like a tip jar. You know, and if you like what I do, you appreciate it, everything else, you're welcome to throw a little bit in the tip jar. You're not forced to do it. You know, it's not like you're not going to get something. You're getting the same thing. It's just, if you feel good about it, then throw me a tip. I understand that aspect of it. I do get it. You could kind of compare that to like a waitress. Now, if you go to a restaurant, a diner, or something like this, you're under the understanding that the waitress is probably making minimum wage, and that she counts on her tips to make a decent amount of money to be able to live on. She provides you with a service, and you tip her for that service and how good she provides it. So if you go in there for a $10 meal, and you're probably going to tip her $2 or $3, right? About 25%. That's pretty much average. So just to get you understanding of my father, we have to watch him when we go to restaurants. He likes to take the tips back. He says that's too much. We have to watch him. But I get that, you know, and it's kind of like that. And you're kind of going, well, you know, it's good money. No, it's not good money. I think a lot of people misunderstand it. I'm not complaining about it whatsoever. I have gotten monetized. I'm working. I'm building towards a goal and stuff. I've done a lot of research on YouTube. When John came to me a couple years ago and was trying to talk me into doing a YouTube channel, I do a lot of research. I check things and how to properly do it and stuff. I do that. I think about things. I ponder things and stuff. I think you guys probably have noticed that. I'll talk about something and it doesn't happen the next day or two. Maybe 2 weeks, a month. You know, before finally I do what I talked about. It's just that I'm working through a cycle. How is the best way to do that? And so I did a lot of research on YouTube, and everybody said basically the same thing. YouTube, you're not going to make a ton of money. Yeah, there's some big channels that make a ton of money, but the way to make money is build a following, and then there's other places, something like Patreon or something like that. You know, like 50,000 subscribers, you start a Patreon account, and that's where you actually make money. That Patreon is more focused on paying the creator, and they take a 20% cut, I think it is, something like that. And then the rest goes to the creator, and you actually make a lot more money. Where in YouTube, it's the opposite direction. You make a little bit of percentage, and YouTube takes the big percentage. And they mix it in all these different formulas and stuff, and you go, okay. But if you actually were to figure it out and look to see how much you make per hour, guys, it's not even funny. I mean, it's pennies maybe an hour. It's really crazy. And like I said, I'm not complaining about it or none. It is what it is. And like John, he has a channel, and he's had it for years, and he's got a larger subscription rate. And so he's been doing this a lot more, and so he gets more, but it's still not, you know, even out to how much work is put into it. And by the way, I just thought of something. Don't send me comments saying, could you tell John to do this on his channel, or he should do it this way or something. And then I know people send him comments too. We laugh about it. I'll put that in terms for you. Let's say you have a friend by the name of Fred, and Fred owns a siding company. He sides houses and whatever. And Fred's out working on a house, and you have another friend by the name of Tom. And Tom walks by and looks at it and goes, And he walks up to you and says, hey, you know, you should go over there and tell Fred that he's not doing that right. He should be double lapping that or something. You'd be like, no, I'm not a sider, for one thing. I don't do siding. That's his business, so why would I go over there and tell him how to do his business? I'm not going to do that. So, you know, it's the same way. I mean, he has a very successful channel. For one thing, I would never tell him how to do his channel because, you know, I've learned a lot of different things off of him. And he's been more successful at it. So why would I even tell him to do that? You know? So, instead of me comments about it, that's never going to happen. I'm never going to go to John and say, hey, so-and-so said this. And me and him joke around about it. And he goes, yeah, somebody sent me a comment about you, and I'm supposed to tell you something. He goes, but that's as far as I got. I didn't read the rest of it. You know, it's just weird. But back to that. So basically, you know, he's making something. He's making videos, and you guys enjoy his videos and everything else. And he puts a lot of work into it. He's done a lot of time and effort of figuring out how to do this correctly and everything else. He's spent a lot of money on this. And so, you know, and he doesn't make, if you figure it out an hourly, he doesn't make a lot of money. So it's like, okay, you know, if you want to give a tip, well, here it is. I kind of understand that. I don't think I would ever do it personally, but I understand what he's saying, and I see it. So I understand both aspects of it. Now, he said also something in it. He said something about, I don't know why people get upset about a Patreon page or a GoFundMe page or something like that. Those are different things. The Patreon page, I completely agree with. And I'm telling you right now, I know a couple people have said in comments and stuff, you know, I was the one who talked him into that. Actually, it was me. I know that other people have been talking to him and talking to him about it, but then I watched some sailing channels. I subscribe to some sailing channels. And a couple of these sailing channels, they actually did this thing where they broke it down and showed how much they make each month through YouTube, through Patreon, through merchandise sales, all this stuff, and showed all these numbers. And I'll tell you right now, the place where they make the most money is Patreon. That's where they make the most money. And it's because it's been built to go to the creator. not go through all these different avenues of advertisers and Google and all this other stuff, and then give the creator just a little bit of cut of it. It's really kind of meant to put money into the creator's hands. And I know that, and some people have problems with it. I don't think that you really understand it. I don't think that people really understand Patreon. I know that people get upset with it. They sit there and go, well, why would I go on Patreon and have to pay to watch a video when I can watch it on YouTube for free? Well, you're not watching it for free. You're paying right now to watch this video. And I can help understand that. Let's just take some numbers. I'm trying to think out of my head here. Let's take some numbers, make them easy numbers. Let's say John would start up a Patreon account and say, for $1 a month, you get to watch all my videos on Patreon. He has 76,000 subscribers. Let's say 10,000 of them go to Patreon. That's $10,000. Now, if Patreon takes 20%, that still leaves John with $8,000 a month. That's a good paycheck to do what we do. We put a lot of time into this. It's basically like a second full-time job. So that really makes it really worth it, you know? Then you'd focus on it a lot more. That's my issue, is that I don't make a grand amount or nothing else, and so I really focus on the driving, not so much as the YouTube. The YouTube always comes second. This has to come first. So let's just take those numbers. $1 a month, 10,000 people do it. Now let's say John, he's doing his YouTube, and let's say he averages 2 videos a day for a month. That's 60 videos. And let's say those videos, each video, you know, it has ads on it. And the ad is, say, a 15-second one that you can skip, and maybe it's a 5-second, a 15-second, 10-second, whatever. Let's say it adds up to maybe about 30 seconds of actual ads that you have to watch per video. So that's going to be 60 seconds, or that's going to be, so 30 seconds of ads for 60 videos. That's going to be, 1,800. So that's going to be 1,800 seconds. Divide that by 60 seconds in a minute. That's going to be, my math probably going to be off. I believe it's 30 minutes. So in a month time, if you watch all his YouTube videos, you're going to be watching 30 minutes of ads on YouTube. Or you could go to Patreon and watch those videos and pay $1 and get them ad free. And he makes 4 times as much. I don't know the exact amount, but you know, makes a lot more. So does that make it, you know, better? I mean, you got to look at it. Is you sitting there watching 30 minutes of ads? Is that worth $1? Is 30 minutes of your time worth $1? Well, I'll tell you the truth. I think that my time's worth more than $1. You know, 50 cents an hour. I think so. So that's what I don't. You know, people get upset about that, but the Patreon thing, you're like, you're just after the money. No. Yeah, I am making it. It's a business. I'm building something and everything else, but also it's better. It is a better way. The only problem with Patreon is you can't go there like I have and start up a new channel and everything else, because on Patreon, if you want to go and watch a video, you have to pay. So unless somebody knows who you are, knows your channel, knows that they want to see your content, they're not going to go on there and say, well, this looks interesting, I'll pay the money and watch the video. They're not going to do that. But on YouTube, you can search around, and all you got to do is watch an ad here and there, and you can actually find new content and everything else. That's why Patreon doesn't work so good until you get a big enough subscriber rate. Then you can pull a 30 of your subscribers over with you, and that's where you start making your money. And I've talked to John about it many times. He says he can't figure out how to put videos on there. I've tried to tell him what he should do is put like his drone footage and his home time on Patreon, and then put the trucking on YouTube. And then he doing all his trucking videos, and he's like, "Oh, I flew my drone this morning. If you want to see that footage, go to Patreon." You know what I mean? Something like that. But he says he can't figure it out. So I'm 100% behind Patreon. I tell you right now, if you have a serious problem with it, if I am able to hit 50,000 subscribers, I will probably do a Patreon account. I will. I like those numbers, and I think $1 a month is perfect. That's probably what I would try to set it up as. I mean, that's nothing. So then you got the GoFundMe page. That's a little bit different. You know, that's somebody saying, "Hey, I have an idea. I would like to do this, but I don't have the funds for it. Would people out there like to support my idea and help me get it done?" I get that. From what I've heard, though, is GoFundMe takes a really big whopping cut of it. But there was a guy I know, he ended up with cancer, and they did a GoFundMe page to help with the surgeries. And he got a bunch of money put in there and everything. There was a bunch of money, and later on found out he hardly got any of that. It was terrible how much money they took out of that. So I don't know, but you know, GoFundMe, I got a great idea, and I have not talked to John about this. John was probably going to be upset with me. I'm probably going to get a phone call as soon as this video comes out. He's probably going to be yelling at me. I think John ought to start a GoFundMe page. I think he should. And I think that he should start up a GoFundMe page and title it "Buy Baby Blue Back." I think he should. I love to comment in one of his videos saying this, and people were all liking it and everything else. I think it's a great idea. I think because, you know, it had the bumper damage, he hit the pole, and John was, you know, telling the boss that he'll pay for it and everything else. And so they're kind of working through all that issue and everything. And I'm thinking, you know what? Why don't you just buy the truck back? Get back into Baby Blue and start a GoFundMe page up. I think he can easily get enough money to do all that. He probably could get enough money probably to buy it twice. Buy the truck from Boss Man. I'll help him go through the truck. There's a lot of little things that need to be repaired and stuff like that. We'll fix it all up. And then he can even turn around and release right on back with Boss Man as an owner-operator. And probably do 70%, I would think. I would say 70-75% would probably be about the going rate, the lease back on. And so he'd be getting that instead of, you know, it's 20%. So that would, I think it's a great option. And then he's an owner operator, owns his own rig. So I think it's a great idea. John would be his own trucking company owner. And the other great aspect of it is John would be shooting videos back in Baby Blue, and we wouldn't have to constantly listen to beep, 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 beep. Because, man, that would drive me nuts. I've been watching his videos, and I'm like, turn the alarm clock off, John. You're up already. It's so funny. It's that little following thing or whatever. Man, that thing beeps all the time with him. It's like, John, back off. Or don't record when there's a bunch of traffic or something. I don't know. Well, we got some sightseers going south here. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm telling you right now, I would donate to it. I would. I would donate to John's GoFundMe page. I would donate some money so that he could buy Baby Blue back. That could be the mission. Buy Baby Blue back. There could be t-shirts printed up. We could have picket signs outside of Frederick, Maryland on the highway. Buy Baby Blue back. I think it's a great idea. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know if John would even be interested in this. He's probably gonna call me up after he hears about this. And he's probably gonna be like, I don't want to be an owner operator. I did that once. I don't want to do that. I don't know. I haven't even talked to him about it. I just been thinking about it all night long, and I'm like, why not? And to people who say, oh, Baby Blue is all worn out and everything. No, it's not. It's not even close. That orange truck I have in my yard, it's got 2.2 million miles on it. Baby Blue's got 700,000. I didn't rebuild that engine in that truck. I rebuilt that engine myself that I have at home. I rebuilt it at 1.6 million. Right now it's got about 600,000 miles on the rebuild. Still it's running strong. Excuse me. So it's not worn out. So I've seen a lot of comments, people saying that, oh, Baby Blue, that's good. Baby Blue needs to retire. You need a new truck, John, and all that stuff. And it's like, that truck don't need to retire. That truck is to the point where it's actually making money now. It's actually all paid off and everything else, and now it's just pure profit running on the road. I think a little better, maybe maintenance, keep an eye on things and everything would catch a lot of these different things that are happening to it. So, well, there you go. There's my grand idea for the day. So, I hope everyone out there is having themselves a great day, a great night as you're watching this here video. If you are not, so I can change all that around. Try it all over again tomorrow. I'll catch you later. See ya.